I'm continuing to dig into the Magnificent Seven stock tickers, and now I'm up to Google, also known as Alphabet, and we're going to take a look at it. Now we're going to start with the monthly time frame real quick. And this monthly chart shows us that since the low in November of 2022, we've basically been up and to the right, most recently supported by the March 2024 low. Now on the weekly chart, I've done something a little different. I've dialed back the chart, okay, coming back to the highs from November of 2021, bringing us down to that November 2022 low, again, which on the monthly chart was the starting point of the latest strong move higher. And what I want to do is point you to the forecasts that could have been calculated on the weekly chart of Google and how they had been useful, and then also give you a new forecast looking ahead. So in doing this exercise, I applied the concepts from my loss forecasting trading system, and I have marked the resulting forecast, so the meeting of price and time, a magnet pulling on price, with either a blue sort of X marks the spot or a pink X marks the spot. Now, this isn't about boy, girl, or anything like that. There is a reason why I use those colors, and I teach that in the loss forecasting trading system. For your purposes here, I'm going to explain as I unfold the price action. Lifting off from that November low, there was a magnet pulling price down into the right that you can see here, this intersection of this blue vertical line segment and horizontal. See how that pulled price down into the right? Even if you don't know how to calculate it yet, because again, that's in the loss forecasting system, this is showing you how having that magnet would have been useful to be ready for the resumption of the uptrend. This was also coupled with returning to a price probe low, holding the bull support power zone, techniques I teach in the 4 zones coverage system. All right, from there was a magnet you could have drawn, and it was pulling on price up and to the right, this pink one here. No, even though it wasn't hit on the mark, it definitely was a useful pull on price and could have been calculated as early as the completion of this blue forecast. That would have been helpful to guide any management of your long trades. And note that price target, so the horizontal segment of the forecast, did get hit. It just happened later than the vertical time segment as marked. All right. Now, price action continued, and then when it started to come down lower, there was this blue magnet that would have helped to be prepared for the pullback that unfolded. And check it out. There was a pair of blue magnets here, and this pair helped you be ready for this turn in the price back higher. Note, the price didn't come all the way down to the horizontal segments, which represent the price targets, but the timing, see, this window here, from the week ending June 23rd, 2023 to the week ending July 14th, 2023, that is when the market made a low. This is what I mean when I say that the loss forecasting techniques work even when the forecast misses. And I teach how to monitor all the misses and make money off of them in the system. All right, let's keep going here. There was a magnet pulling price up into the right, and it lived out here. So even though it didn't reach in price, so that's the thing about forecasts. You can't just put your order on and just assume it's going to get to the price. Even though it didn't hit the price, it sure was helpful in the time. Look how close this was, just a week or two off, 1-2 bars off from the turn in the market. Then you could very quickly calculated a forecast pulling price down into the right, this blue pair here. And this type of application is endless. You can do it on any time frame. You can do it on any type of market, so long as it's active and moving. So where we are with Google weekly chart now is after having had this most recent magnet up into the right, there's a magnet sitting out here at about $165 for the week ending June 14th, 2024. You can see we have overshot the price of that. But here's the thing, as my loss forecasting students know, when you know how to monitor your forecasts even when they are not hit accurately, you can see how sometimes the market will still act as a magnet at that forecast. So what I'm saying is we may still see further upside in Google, and it still could be possible that it corrects back into the price and time of this magnet. I also teach in the system what would make the magnet not valid anymore. And in this particular case, it would require a move below this low, this doji, this spinning top back at the week ending March 8th. That's what would invalidate this current forecast. All right, now let's take this and head to a daily chart. So what happens on the daily chart is if you do forecasting on the weekly chart, it allows you to have more precision. So using similar points of data, but now having the precision of the specific day of the week, as opposed to just a whole week of trading. As early as this yellow vertical line here, March 11th, you could have calculated a forecast for Google to move up and to the right to the point I'm about to show you. Okay, it's the more precise point than what the weekly chart gave, because the daily chart has smaller data points, right? You could have been prepared for all of this up and to the right coming into this forecast. So now we have more precision. The forecast is for a particular day because we're in the daily chart, May 31st. But remember, the weekly chart gave us a little bit of that wiggle room. That's the beauty of using forecasts on multiple time frames, because that way you can be ready for those misses or those times when the forecast doesn't unfold precisely, but is still quite useful. So as you can see here, the market overshot, same thing we saw in the weekly, and still this intersection here would act as like a magnet, and it's only invalidated, just like on the weekly, if we get below this swing low back here. So let's talk a little bit about the most recent price action and round out from there. So with this overshot price target, now what do? Well, we're not going to wait for this magnet. The market may be stronger than this cycle projected. And I also teach how to move beyond the standard forecasts that I teach in loss forecasting. Those techniques I show in advanced loss forecasting. So what I will do is give you some of the further levels out that would be the advanced forecast levels if Google stays strong and this magnet is weak. There might be stronger magnets out. Let me show you those. All right, so if this market timing point, this forecast, is still useful, right? This May 31st, it's just that the market's going to overshoot this 164, 165 target. Then the next levels out would be around 180, and beyond that would be around 197. So I'm giving you these ballpark levels. Again, the techniques for how to come up with those additional forecasts, that's in advanced loss forecasting, and the basic approach to my forecasting is in what I call the loss forecasting trading system, because it was almost lost, and there's a crazy story behind that. And those of you checking out this video at the time I published it, keep an eye on your email, because I'll be sharing more on that and how you can benefit from it soon. But I really want you to understand that with all the market uncertainty going on right now, whether it's in these magnificent 7 stocks like Google or anything else, you would do well to be able to utilize this entire bottom axis of your chart, which probably hasn't been the case for most traders. Both people don't teach that, right? They teach you about price action, which is great. They teach you maybe momentum like I do, or other indicators. But what about this whole time axis? That's where I really want you to check out forecasting and dive in. So Google, still on track to trade higher. These are the interim targets if it doesn't pull back first. I think that actually is going to continue to go higher from where it is. And if it breaks below this most recent low around 162, then I would watch for 156.49 and 150.87. That's what I've got to share. If you found value in this video, in the review of the price action and exploring forecasting and more, please give the video a like, drop a comment, let me know. I'm going to be finishing out my Magnificent 7 roundup here soon, but I would love to continue to share videos like this, and your feedback is what tells me which ones you want to see. I'm Hema Reddy, helping you boost your trading with price, time, and momentum. Catch you next time.